Welcome to today's presentation on budgeting basics. Do you ever wonder where the money in your wallet went or how your bank account got so low? How your money disappeared is not as big a mystery as you think. If you don't plan for what you spend or keep track of what you buy, it's easy to burn through cash. Here are some things to keep in mind as you are building your budget. Building a budget will not help you increase your income, but it will help you reach your financial goals, build a savings, pay off debt, or stay out of debt. Also, when you are following your budget and an unexpected financial situation occurs, ask yourself if it can be considered an emergency and if it's worth dipping into your savings for. Otherwise, you might have to hold off on spending the extra money. Organize your expenses by identifying each as a fixed or flexible cost. Also, identify if the expense is a want or a need. Remember, a need is an expense you cannot live without, such as food or shelter. A want might look like a need, such as a car. Transportation is a need, but if you live in an area that has a decent public transit system, a car might be more of a want. A budget helps you see where you are financially, plan your spending by the week, month, or semester, and make adjustments if you get off track. With a budget, you plan your spending. That way, you can pay your bills, afford the necessities of life, and have some money left over to have fun or buy some of those want items. Often, the best approach is to take a hard look at how you've spent money in the past. Your credit card bills and bank statements will help you track some of those spendings. Once you have about a month's worth of spending records, you can see your good and bad spending habits. When you're ready to create a budget, start with your monthly income. That's the amount of money that you have to work with in your budget. Add up the income you earn each month from all sources, such as income from a job or freelance work, allowance, and summer work. Remember, one time cash gifts, such as money you get for your birthday or a tax refund, are also income, but since you can't plan on this every month, do not include them here. The next step is to add your current expenses. Using the records you have available, this list will undoubtedly be longer and more varied than your sources of income and will include such items as rent, bills, subscriptions, food costs, and more. To create a successful budget, you will need to separate your need expenses from your want expenses. Needs are things you can't live or work without. Needs include a place to live, food, transportation, clothing, and insurance. Although you have to pay for needs, you do have some control over what you spend. Unlike needs, wants are things you can get by without, even though you'd like to have them. If you decide that a want really is a need, such as unlimited data plan for your phone, you may need to work your budget around it. This could mean cutting into other expenses or removing a few extra want items. Although sticking to a budget can be hard work, achieving the goals you set will make it worthwhile. Different goals have different time frames, typically based on what the goal will cost. Short-term goals like saving up for a new phone may take 3 months or less. Medium-term goals such as upgrading your laptop may take 3 months to a year. And long-term goals such as getting a car, graduating from college, or eventually owning a home take more than a year and sometimes many more. No matter the time frame of a goal, your ability to reach it depends on how well you manage your budget. Sticking to your budget requires good spending habits. Here are some tips that can help you stay focused and on track. Keep a spending notebook to track all of your expenses. This will help you decide where you can save money. Cut down on using debit and credit cards. You may think longer about a purchase if you're spending cash rather than plastic. Write down your goals and display them in a place you can see them every day. This will serve as a reminder as to why you shouldn't make that extra purchase. Keeping good records and reviewing your budget on a regular schedule, like at the end of the month, can help you determine where you overspent and where you can afford to spend a little more. Statements can help keep track of income and expenses, but don't rely on them alone because they won't be able to track other small purchases, such as what you did with that $50 you withdrew from the ATM. Good record keeping helps you identify overspending and makes it easier to plan for next month, especially if you have a past budget as a reference point. Balancing your income and expenses and managing your spending gives you a head start. If your record keeping shows that you're on track, you might treat yourself to something from your list of wants. Just be careful not to go overboard. Hopefully this helped clear up some questions. If you need any more information or need some assistance regarding financial aid advisors are available to set up individual appointments. You can also email us at financial.aid@cabrillo.edu. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram for posts about deadlines and dates of future webinars.